Okay, today I'm playing with this stencil. I don't use it very much. I haven't used it in a while. I just started. I usually use these big ones. I broke this out for the first time today. This big one's on the big plate. But I decided I wanted to try it on here. I thought it would be pretty. Thought I could get enough of the trees. So what I'm going to do is first put down a tiny bit of off-white with some mixing white. Because the birch trees are white. But I don't want it to be like a solid, that's why I'm not worrying about little marks, actually trying to give it little marks. I don't know how much that will show up on the white paper, but that's why I put a little bit of the off-white in there. Now we're going to put this down about there. Try to straighten it a bit. There. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up some of this mess I want to pull up what's in between the trees. That's good. Like that. Now, over the top of this, I'm going to put some of my favorite indigo blue. With maybe a little of this blue on the very top. So it'll be a mix of blues. Well, if there's any in this, it will be a mix of blues. There we go. I'm doing this, I'm putting it down, then I'm pulling it up, then I'm putting it down, then I'm mixing it. I just don't want it to be a plain flat blue background. And then we're going to let this dry, and then I'm going to go in the house while this dries. Okay, that's kind of what I want. Alright, let's see what it looks like. Alright, now we're going to let that dry. The only thing I don't like is this little tiny spot of bright blue. We're going to pull that up. There. Leave that to dry for a minute. Yeah, I'll let that dry. Seems to be a little tiny piece of paper there that I can probably pull up with a toothpick. let it hit with a hairdryer and dry it really good. So that I can go over it. Actually, this is a heat gun, but I'm keeping my distance. See, I got way distance from the plate. I'm not right up on the plate with it. And I'm thinking I'm going to do this on a tissue, because if I can see through the blue at all, it would be nice either on a tissue or deli paper. So I might grab that to do this one. I had been using mixed media paper all day with mixed results. But I think we might use deli paper for this. Okay, let's let that dry. I'll be back when it's dry. Okay, so we're dry. Now I'm going to go over it with Amsterdam's acrylic white. This is a good white paint. That should be plenty. Actually, I think that's too much. Let's take some of it off. It is too much, but if we let it thoroughly dry, we should be okay. It's only too much right down here. Yeah, we'll pull it off. You get to a point when you're doing this where you're starting to pull the paint off, which is okay when you've done like this. It's a little too heavy. But hopefully the tissue will help pull it. See, I'm pushing that crease down so I don't end up with a crease in the middle of my picture. You want to make sure you tilt it a little when you go around the edges to make sure those edges catch. Okay. Get up my heat gun, heat it up a little. I keep saying hairdryer. I haven't used a hairdryer in years. It's a heat gun. And I'm staying way away from the plate. I'm not getting anywhere near it. It's warming it. It's not heating it. You can see how small my hand is. That's how far away I am. I started with a pretty clean plate, so there shouldn't be any, well, much grunge. On the edges is usually. But I did clean my plate with spoon in between each one. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully this will pull. And you can feel where it's wet and where it's dry. You can feel it down at this bottom edge is still wet. And up there is pretty dry. You can see it's already pulling on its own. Still wet down here. Look at us sitting here watching paint dry. Who knew? Could be so much fun. Alright, we're going to go once more around the edge because the edge is the most important part for getting it moving. Once more through the middle. Especially those places that seem to thicker, the paint is thicker, like here. Here. Right there. Alright, this should be done. Can't get any more drier than dry. I'm going to start peeling the edges up. Seems to be letting go pretty easy. Go this way. Yep, it seems to be letting go pretty easy. Now what I'm doing is just using my finger to pull the plate up off the paint. Pardon the tedium, but you gotta be careful. If you just rip willy-nilly, you're gonna lose half the picture. This will be cut down. Thinking of putting these in one of my journals, so it should be cut down, so the very edges aren't going to matter that much. But you don't want it sticking all the way down the edge. Or you do want it sticking as far as it will stick. Alright, back to the original edge. Now let's get to pulling. Hopefully I won't rip the paper. I don't usually, but let's hope the whole thing came up. If not, I can do it again. That's the nice thing of gel printing. And if I do it again, I will probably do the background even darker. That's enough contrast for me, but now I was going to use that round little gel plate to make a moon, but then I decided that I have another way I want to do it. Oh no. Go back this way. See if I can catch what decided not to come up. One little spot though, it can be touched up with paint. Yeah, there's one little spot. And I can touch that up with paint. And there you are. See right here, I can very easily get some white paint on my finger. Or a Q-tip. Q-tips work well too. Just go in there and dab that in. And since it's going to be backed with white when it's on the page, that'll be less noticeable, see? But there's my project done. And I'll do a couple more of these this afternoon. Now I'm going to go in and get me some coffee. I haven't had my coffee yet this morning. But I do like that Stencil. Today's the first day I've used it, and I'm surprised that, I mean, I had a couple good hits, I had disasters, but this one was a disaster because it stuck. And this one I had a very grungy background, and it didn't show at all, so some hits, some misses. This was a hit right here. And like I said, it will be on a journal page. I'll probably cut along the edge, put it on a journal page, so I like the way it looks. I'm pretty happy with it. See, dig out your old stuff, don't buy new stuff. I've had that for probably 10 years sitting in there, not used. So, that's my mantra for the month. Let's pull out some of the old stuff. Thank you very much for viewing my video. Put a like if you like it, please. Put a comment if you got anything you need to say. I'll answer any questions that I can. Thank you very much. Subscribe if you want to see more, and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when more come out. Thank you very much, and you have a lovely day.